morning, everyone. I hope you're all well today. Welcome to the WhotKnot studio, where I've got up early this morning, still got my jammies on, and I thought I would come down here and just do a little bit of work on my journal. And I was just taking a look at it, and it's already starting to get a little bit chunky. So I'm getting a bit worried because I actually have got another section here that I thought I might add. I'd made this as a flip out, and my plan was that I was going to add this piece to the back here. I was going to cut it in half and use the front section for something else. And I was going to attach this part of the journal to the back of it so that it could be a flip in on the back part of the journal. And I just had a look at that, and I don't really like the way that it's sitting. It really puffs up here at the back. Don't know if you can see that. So I think what I'm going to have to do is bring it more toward the center point of the book. And I'm looking at this page. It's nice and thick, so it'll take the extra weight quite well. And I think if I place it there, that will disperse the thickness a bit. So that's what I'm thinking. I'd like to get that done today, I think. That's my plan anyway. But I have done a bit of work on this journal. There's still a little bit to be done, and that's why I was getting a bit worried about how thick it's getting. I always like to put too much in them. That's the problem. I made this yesterday. So this is a little flip out. It's got this nice image here. And then at the back of it, there's a pocket. And I've made this little booklet that slides in. These pages still have to be dealt with. I'm thinking a bit of music book page on there. I haven't thought about it too much. And then the other problem that I've got is I wanted to put this envelope in so that it flipped out and you had the option to put something in it. But the flap's on the wrong side. If I put it in how I want it to sit, which is like that, the roses are upside down. So I know I could put it on this side, but in my mind, I don't know why. I really want to put it on this side. So I found this also, and this one will open up the right way and the roses up the right way. So, yeah, they're still sitting in there. I haven't quite decided what to do about that. And I did this page the other day, but I feel like it needs something else. And I haven't quite decided what. So what I am thinking about doing is unstringing this book, taking the binding out. And because I think it is going to get a bit chunkier, I want to reinforce this spine area because this is only wallpaper after all. So I think I'm going to pull it apart, and while I've got it apart, I'm going to do a bit more stitching and things like that on it. And I'm going to run some fabric up on the inside to reinforce it and just to make sure it's going to be stable. So I've got a few things to do with my journal. But I bought a pack of paper and bits and pieces from an Etsy seller. And I was talking to Colleen in the comments, and I said to her that even though I was buying all these books to use, I am struggling to cut them up, make that decision to actually slice into them. So I bought a pack of bits and pieces off this lady who had already done all that. So you got a pack and it had music sheets and book pages and all sorts of bits and pieces. So yeah, so I've bought some bits off her and I'm hoping to use some of those. But these came in the pack and I was trying to think of what to do, and I've seen some people making, you know, the little slide projector slide things, and I don't want to cut them that small because I don't want to, I've only got two, I don't want to waste any of it. But what I was thinking about doing, I mean, I could hinge them into a book. They could be, they've got like that hinge area. So I'm thinking I'm going to cut down here and fold it in half and make like a little, I printed off some bits and pieces this morning and I was thinking about like cutting a hole in it and making like a little window that would have a picture in it. So yeah, I don't want to waste any of it, and it's got like these interesting markings on it, but whether I'll lose some of that. But I'm wondering if I fold that in half, am I going to have enough room to put that image at the back? I think I will. So I think what I'm going to do is, along that perforated line there, I'm just going to cut that carefully so that I can fold it in half. All right, so I think that's about the halfway spot. I've just sharpened this. I'll just put a new blade in this so it's very sharp. So I think I'll just cut that down there. I have no idea. I'm just running with this at this point. And it's got this plastic edge, so I might have to snip into that. I'll just snip a little V out, I think. Yep, these, I was going to say if the scissors will cut it, but they cut it easily. So let's see. I don't know where that little bit of plastic went, but it's gone. So I'm thinking if I fold it like that. Let's see. Something along those lines. I think I'm going to have to take, there's a staple right where I want to crease it there. So we might have to lose that staple. I'm going to cut that bottom bit off. I'll keep that for something else because I think that will be good for, I could use that on the top of tags or things like that. So I'll keep that bit in my scraps tub. I'm going to have to pull this staple out. See if I can do that without shedding blood. They're really old staples. So I've already had a busy morning this morning. We had a bit of a kerfuffle. I bought some books off Etsy, and the seller lived just around the corner from where my daughter does. So one of the books is quite large, and I thought, well, rather than pay for the postage, since Mill is coming up next month, she can just bring it with her, pick it up and bring it with her. So that was fine. Mill went round there this morning to pick it up, and apparently nowadays you've got to have a code, one of those URL codes with eBay if you're picking things up from the seller. And for whatever reason, the code would not work. So the seller would not give me my daughter the books. So I had to get in touch with eBay to find out why my code wouldn't work. They said the seller had to reset it. She didn't seem to want to do that. So I said to her, well, what if you just cancel the order and give me a refund, and Mill will come around with the cash and we'll sort it out that way. she didn't want to do that either. She wanted to go through eBay. So in the end, had to cancel the whole order, which she cancelled it anyway, so that was a little bit annoying. And I had to repurchase the items again and pay for postage and have it posted up. Yeah. Nuts. Crazy stuff. So sometimes logic goes out the window, doesn't it? By the way, I will get the books, and unfortunately Mill had to run around for nothing this morning. So, yeah, a bit annoying. I'm just going to make sure I'm cutting this with enough room around the edge so that I can glue it in place. I'll just leave a bit more room there. But I don't want to slice into the other pictures I've got on the page because I might use them. I am going to have to slice into that big butterfly because when I put them on the projector screen, on the photocopy screen, I pushed that one a bit too close over. So I am going to lose that one. But that's all right. And just make sure that's cut through. Oh. So it's not a very nice day here again today. It rained all yesterday and last night as well. And to be fair, we are in winter, so it's to be expected. I'm wondering now that I've cut that out, whether I should have used that picture, but that'll be all right. I'll go with this one. That's a nice one. I think that'll match in the journal. Even the black and white ones would be nice too. So let's see. So I'm thinking I might put this, do I want it in the centre or off centre? I think I'll probably have to put it at about that point there. So now I've got to work out how to cut this middle bit out. So I think if I mark, how am I going to mark this? Hang on, I've got a circle thing here, that'll probably do. Just let me see, that's roughly the same size. So I think maybe about there. That point, that looks about in the middle, surprisingly. So while I was having my breakfast this morning, I watched Rachel from Roxy Creates. Actually, I think what I'm going to do, just to make sure that doesn't move, I'm just going to put one of my pins in it. And she is starting her new challenge. And I've never done one of those before, but after seeing Chrissy's beautiful results that she got after following Rachel's Roxy Creates challenge for the first half of this 6 months, I am tempted to join in on that. So we'll see. I'm not doing a very straight job, but I'm planning on cutting this out and then just tidying it up with my scissors. I would have liked to have had a hole punch and I could have just punched it out, but I don't have a circle punch this big. Oof, I don't know what these would have been. They're kind of, well, plastic strips are coming off, but I want to keep them on. If they come off, I will put them back on later. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what these would have been, some sort of file by the looks of it, some type of file. I mean, that's the other good, I'll link the Etsy seller that I purchased these off because she sells these packs. They've got quite a good assortment of stuff in them, and you get quite a lot. There was some lace and ribbon and all sorts of bits and pieces like that. And she had a sale last week, and she was running them, selling them for, I think it was $17.50 Australian. I think it was free postage too. And when they're not on sale, I think they were $23. So, as I said, I decided to buy one because then I can use the pages that are sent to me. Plus you get stuff that you haven't seen. I'll keep those 2 discs. They might be handy. Plus you get stuff that you haven't got in your own collection. I mean, to be honest, I really do not need to buy that sort of thing. But as I said, talking to Colleen, and she's a book lover, so this is some of these videos might be torture for her, but when she sees the books being cut up. But yeah, to avoid cutting them up myself, I can just buy the pack. There we go. I'm just neatening that circle up, and I think I'll run. I was just thinking in my mind what I would do. I think I will run a bit of ink around the edge of that circle, just to. There's still a little tiny bit just there. I'm not happy with. Last night I was watching Waste Time with Maggie. She's in New Zealand. Oh, she's making me laugh. She definitely keeps the crafting process real. I mean, when you're doing these things, you're on the fly. And when you're doing a video and you're doing these things, you feel like things that wouldn't have gone wrong if you were just doing it quietly by yourself will always go wrong once you start rolling that camera. Or things will end up going a bit pear-shaped. And she was having a few problems in her video with paper not sticking and paper tearing where she didn't want it to. But good on you, Maggie. You sorted it out. You got all the pieces in place in the end, and she's not been well. She's got the flu on top of all that, so she was up against it, but she got it all together in the end, and her journal is looking great. So if you haven't been to see Maggie, go and pop in and see Maggie. All right, let's do some inking around the edge of this guy. So I've got a stamp there. I've gathered a few bits in the corner there that I thought I may or may not use. Haven't really decided. Just a bit of ink around the edge. Thanks to everybody that left comments on that last journal that I've recently finished, and I appreciate those generous comments. I know there's a lot of people making journals on YouTube these days, so yeah, it's interesting to see other people's techniques and ideas and getting ideas off other people. So it's a great community, and as far as the comments are concerned, a very generous community. So thank you for that. All right, now I think I'll put that guy in there. Going to sit like that. I don't want that vellum to show just where those slits are, so I might have to cut those out. Let me just mark them where they are so I know where I've got to trim, just on the underside of those. I would have liked to have seen that that little mark that the pin is made at some point, but it's the only way. If I wanted to see it would be to put it on the outside, but then my flip, I don't think the flip will work as well because the flip has to go that way. So I might have to sacrifice that guy. And to be honest, I could actually recreate it because I could dip a paper clip in ink and then just press it on and it would recreate that image. I'll just cut those little pieces off and then I think we will be in business. Yep, so I'll glue that guy in. I don't want to put too much glue. You know, I'm an over gluer because it'll ooze out onto my vellum and I don't want that to happen. So I did see that Maggie puts her glue on. I noticed she does this and then she touches it with her finger to spread it out a bit, which I've never done. I mean, I get glue all over my fingers, so that's not a problem, but that will stop it hopefully from oozing out everywhere. And now I'm going to pop that in place there. And then we've got that little slide there showing through so that when it's in the journal and you flip it over, you get the image on both sides. That's what I want. Trying to decide whether I'll leave that end as a little tuck. I could make a little tuck in there, couldn't I? So what I might do is I won't glue that 100% just yet. What I'll do is I'll glue this side and I will glue along the top there, but I'll only go just to there so that I can put a bit of glue under there, make sure everything sticks really good. I love a little tuck in a journal. I like maximum real estate in a journal because the big problem for me is I start decorating the journals and I don't leave any space for the person that's going to receive the journal to put anything in it. So I like to make enough real estate area for everybody to put something in it. All right, it'll only be a tiny little pocket there at the end, but it'll be enough to put some little secret treasure in. So that's that. Glue that down like so. And then we've got a few bits here that I can decorate with. So let's see what we've got here. Got a bit of let me see what I want to put down. I don't think I've got a number here. That could be cute, couldn't it? I've got a bit of sari silk, but that's a bit greyish. I don't like that colour there. I've got a little bit of fabric. I love to put a bit of fabric on in my journals. So I could put that guy. Maybe something like that. What else? I've got a bit of book page here. A bit of dictionary page. So a bit of that across there maybe. Something like that. Yeah. Yep. I could do a bit of sewing on it as well. I don't want to make it too fussy because there's always a lot going on in journals, isn't there? What if I always overkill with the decoration. Thinking, look, I think I'm going to put that piece of book page there because I don't want to cover up the holes too much, and that's really the only spot that I can pop it. So I'm going to stick that there. I actually contacted that lady that I bought the pack of papers off from Etsy, and I think her name was Donna, because there was one particular, I think this is it, the naming page with the names of all the people, Marmaduke. It was an old-fashioned name book, and I asked her if she had any more of those pages because I'd like some more of those. She's going to have a look and see. She's going to get back to me. So I'm going to stick that there. I think I will go for this piece of fabric because I like how the peachy dots match the peachiness in there. And I think I'm going to put this over the top of that. And I might staple that in place. There's my stapler. Hang on a second before I staple that. I don't want to interfere with the little pocket that I've made. How many times do you do that where you think about it after the fact? I'll just move it along a little bit there. That'll be all right. Staple in that. I might put something over the top of that because I don't, the staples are nice and convenient, but I don't like the look of them. In fact, I'll stick that over the top there. All right, I'll put a bit of fabric glue on that because that's going to be glued onto fabric. So I'll get that out. Get my lid off there. Put a little bit of glue on the back. Can you hear that bird? Oh, gosh. Can't get that glue out. Oh, it's all or nothing. Got to go and do the grocery shopping this afternoon. Ugh. I hate doing grocery shopping. It's like going to the hairdressers to me. It just seems like such a waste of time when I could be here doing my crafting stuff. I'm not a big hairdresser person. I haven't been to the hairdressers, I reckon, for nearly 3 years. I just cut my own hair. I think of all the money that I've saved that I can spend on craft stuff. And I've got this little charm. I wonder if that would look... I could pin that to there. I've got a little pin. Have I got a pin? My dish, I've got a little pin. I can pick it up. Here we go. Put a little charm on it. Little flower charm. I got these little charms. They were on a necklace. And, oh, they're so good because they're so nice and flat and they're very lightweight. Oh, I really like them. I'm going to be really sad when I run out of them. I'm getting low now because I use them all the time. Shut that pin. There we go. It's cute. Got a little bird here. I don't know. Is that too much? Maybe that's a bit too much. I've also got a stamp here. I could stamp. Just do a bit of stamping. Maybe that'd be all right. Yeah, I'll try that. I mean, the thing is, what's the worst that can happen if you don't like it? You just put it to one side, don't you? Just put a bit of stamp in there. I've got a bit of scrap paper. I'm just going to stamp off on some scrap paper so that I don't make it too dark. I mean, I have so much paper around. I could definitely find a piece of scrap paper, you would think. Okay. Oh, that didn't stamp very well. Make sure I've got enough stamp ink on it. All right. Thinking I'll put it right there. got a little bit there. It might wipe off. Where are my wet wipes? Do I risk trying to wipe it off and smudging it everywhere? Yes, I do. Oh, that's all right. Got to remember that the inkjet ink also wipes off a bit. That's all right. That looks okay. I think I saved that. So that's what I've got so far. And I think that's probably enough at this point. I might, because if I put something in the end here, I might put a bit of lace on it. I've got this card. I could cover that, and that could go in there with a bit of. It's probably a little bit long. I'd have to trim it. How long have I been going? Should I make that as well? Let's do it. Let's do it. So I'm just going to cut this card down a little bit. I like how this card's already peachy as well. So I think I probably need to take about, let's say, about that much off. Let's see. Does anybody else come down to their craft room first thing in the morning in their jammies and just potter around? I could live in my pyjamas. And let's be real, some days I do. Some days that's exactly what happens. I'll tell you what, I was also talking to Kay, who is another lady that follows me. She follows me on Instagram too. And she was saying that she'd only just worked out that, like, who Instagram connection to, you know, YouTube connection and all that sort of thing. I had to laugh because I'm hopeless with that sort of thing in real life. I never forget people's faces. I'm good with faces, but I am not good with names. And I think when people have got YouTube tags and Instagram tags and God only knows what, everybody, different names and different platforms, you just can't keep up with it. It's too much. But I think everybody understands, don't they? Nobody's getting upset about that sort of thing. So now I think that would fit in there pretty nicely. And I could put, decorate that up with I've got a bit of the leftover wallpaper journal paper. Might just rip that along there so it's not too even. Put a bit of that book page behind it there on this end. Be able to journal on the back of this too. That'll be an extra spot. Put that there. Trim that off in a minute. There, make sure it's straight, and then you can put that there. Bit of glue action. Am I too far away? Should I have zoomed you in a bit? I've just noticed that's probably a bit late. But I just zoomed you in a bit. Let's put a bit of glue on the underside here. Surprisingly, even though this is wallpaper, sometimes it's hard to get it to stick. But I think I'm definitely going to have to take that journal apart and revisit the binding on it. The more I think about it, the less happy I am with it. So definitely that's going to happen. I've got 2 of those journals to do. And yeah, I'm looking forward to doing them. I like doing them. Here we go. Just cutting around the edge of that. Trim that off there. Maybe I'll put that little bird on this. Might be nice. Got a little music note there. I can put that there. Put the little bird there. Oh, that looks cute, doesn't it? Yeah, that's cute. Show you all up. Cute. So I'll do that. I've got to fussy cut out some more of those birds. I think I would use birds more often, but I never, really take the time to fussy cut them out. So I like putting, if I do use a bird, I like to use music sheet because I think of birds singing when I see little birds. Put a bit of glue on the back of that. This little bird's been floating around my desk for about 3 weeks. It's funny how you get a little piece of this or that that just seems to hang about, and then all of a sudden it finds its home where it's supposed to be. There we go. You can sit there, little fella, and live your best life. And I think I'd like just a thin... I want a bit of lace sticking out the top of this. Once I slide this in, I'd like... I think I'd like a little bit of lace or something. And I think I would decorate the back as well, because you will see the back and the front. Let me just, I've got this little bit of trim, but I wonder if that's a bit heavy. Let me see what I think. And I could put that there. Get an idea of what it would look like. Yeah. Oh well, actually, it doesn't look too bad, does it? Just what else have I got here? So much and not enough. Story of life. I've got this that's a bit too thin. Let's see, what else have I got over here? It's a bit heavy. I've got this one. This could be nice, but I wonder whether that might be stick out too far. I think that's a bit wide. Hang on, let me grab something. Yes, okay, I'm back. I've grabbed a few things. I just forgot to put the camera on for a second there, so I've just started putting a bit of stuff on the back of this before I put my lace on. I found this little bit of lace. I think that'll work pretty well. So I'm just going to make the back fairly plain so that you've got an opportunity to do some journaling on the back of it if you want to. I'll just let that glue set up before I rip that off, because I want to pull that off the back there. And I think I will do a bit of stitching around the edge of this one maybe, and I'll stitch that lace on. I think this little trim, this tiny little bit of lace will look good. I'm thinking just like that across the top. Or actually I might even, if I run it through the machine, I might ruffle it up a little bit. All right, I'll just go and, I just want to wait for that to dry, and I'll go and run this through the machine. I'll be back. Okay, and I'm back. And I went a bit ski-whiff on the corners there, a bit wonky. But you know what? Wonky's allowed. Wonky's allowed in junk journaling, so wonky's good. So we've got that little card there, and that little card can now slide into its house there. So that's ready to go into a journal at some point. And that's what it looks like. I mean, I might do some more, I don't know. And it's got that little hinge section. I think I'll put some more bits and pieces on the back some more book page and things like that, maybe a bit more stamping, but that stamp's not, has gone onto the vellum quite a little bit there, it's not quite dry. So yeah, I've got enough to make one more of those, so I'll probably make one more of those. I'll take some pictures and I'll show you some pictures of how it looks in the end. So yep, I hope you guys have a happy day, and I hope you get a little bit of crafting done and enjoy some time in your craft room today. Thanks for popping in to visit me. I'll see you next time. Bye.